Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's BornFree here. I have something awesome for you today. We're going to be talking to the Street Fighter statue collectibles company, Kinetiquettes, and we're going to reveal a stunning new innovation in Street Fighter statues, which I think you're all going to love. I'm talking to Adib, the creative director of Kinetiquettes, who's in Singapore, and I think it must be like 2 or 3 a.m. there right now. So thank you, Adib. Can you just introduce yourself?
Other than being the creative director, I'm actually one of the co-founders of the studio. There's three of us who are artists who founded the company, and also another friend of ours who's sort of the finance guy for us.
Okay, so what is that thing over your top left shoulder?
That's our new upcoming Bison quarter scale statue. And it's not just a quarter scale statue, but it's actually levitates. I think you can see it.
That's so awesome. And that's what we're going to talk about later on in this video because it looks stunning. And I know we have some really great footage of it levitating. So before we get on to that, I guess I wanted to ask you about the recent Ken statue, which is actually part of a bigger diorama called Battle of the Brothers. That Ken statue was featured on Event Hubs and it went viral, and I guess a lot of people saw it. Why do you think that resonated so well with Street Fighter fans?
With the Ken statue, we wanted to sort of push the limits a little bit more in terms of posing and also the sculpt itself. So we were actually working with a very well-renowned sculptor called Thiago Provin. He's from Brazil, and he's a very talented sculptor. And I think that's one of the reasons why the statue was so well received, was because of the pose and how good the sculpt is. And not to mention it's Alpha Ken, so who doesn't like Alpha Ken?
That's true. People do love Alpha Ken, but you can get him wrong, and I think you guys really nailed it, and particularly the pose as well. He can be a standalone statue, right? 1/6 scale, and that's because he actually fits into a much larger diorama called Battle of the Brothers.
Yeah, so this Battle of the Brothers diorama was actually inspired by the artwork that our art director Kit actually, yeah. So he did an initial 25th anniversary artwork previously, which sort of inspired this diorama. Where in the artwork you can actually see Goki fighting Ryu and Ken. So we sort of took it to another level where we thought, there's Goki, there's Ken, Ryu, and what's missing is obviously Goken. Basically, the brothers. I mean, of course, Goken and Goki are brothers, but Ken and Ryu are kind of non-blood related brothers who've grown up, trained together, and all that. So yeah, and so we've made it such that not only Ken, Ryu, Goken, and Goki are standalone statues, but dioramas and connectable dioramas being our sort of specialty. We made it such that you can interchange these characters, have Ryu versus Ken, Ken versus Goken, Ken versus Goki. You can have Ryu Ken versus Goken, or Ryu Ken versus Goki. So there's multiple ways, and you can combine all these characters and dioramas. So yeah.
So basically, all your statues appear to have like a certain style to them, right? Which is this. It feels like it's a dynamic movement. Like, is that your philosophy?
That's sort of what we believe is sort of our unique selling point. I guess you can say that. Is that we try to have characters in movement, in action, especially Street Fighter characters. You want them to see them doing their moves and in the very action poses.
Did you play a lot of the games growing up?
Well, I've been playing fighting games since as long as I can remember. But to be honest, I really got into Street Fighter after Street Fighter 4, because I was more of a King of Fighters guy since in my teens. So, playing 94, 95, 96, all those KOF games, those SNK games, Samurai Showdown, Last Blade, and all that. So I actually grew up playing a lot of those fighting games, and in the arcade specifically. I still remember the time when I used to go with my friends and go to different areas in my city trying to find challengers, because KOF has a 3v3 team. So I used to play a character, Kyo to be specific, and then my other two buddies would play different characters. So we would just take our team and go different places to play these fighting. So I guess Street Fighter 4 sort of rejuvenated that love for fighting games, because, as you know, like, fighting games were sort of dying down before Street Fighter came into the scene. Came back into the scene, to be specific. So Street Fighter 4 sort of sparked that passion.
Now tell me about the FGC, because my understanding is you're involved and you're a contributing member. Sorry, member, but you're a contributing sponsor or company in regards to the FGC. I recently saw your statue on stream with Z. He had it in the commentary box. In fact, I think he just did that because he really liked it. But let me know a little bit about your involvement.
Yeah, so we've actually sponsored a few events. We started out with the Team Spookies NLBC, the weekly tournament that happened, and we actually gave away a Evil Ryu statue to the winner of the 100th NLBC, and Smug won that. And also last year we sponsored the NCR, which Daigo won. So actually Daigo has a Evil Ryu at home, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We'll actually be sponsoring the upcoming Asia CPTA Asia Finals at GameStart Asia. So the winner of the CPTA will actually walk away with Ken statue. So, well, not yeah. Speaking of Ken statue, yeah, we will be actually making him available for pre-order very soon. All I can say for now is that we're hoping to open our pre-orders before the end of the year.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see it like fully fleshed out. Like it's a very exciting work in progress. So let's get on to the meat. let's get on to Levitating and Bison. I mean, basically, you appear to be a very ambitious company with a statue that levitates. I've only seen a few out there, and they're usually like spaceships and stuff. Nothing that I'm interested in. But this is Street Fighter. And certain characters in Street Fighter levitate, and M. Bison certainly does that. And so we're going to show some footage, and maybe you can talk about what we're seeing, and then you can talk a little bit about, how this came about.
It's actually using magnetic levitation. So it does need a sort of power source to sort of levitate the statue. And we first did a prototype, a so-called concept prototype using Dalsim, which actually we made a video of, and people were really curious about, like, will there be a Dalsim statue? And in fact, we do plan to eventually have a levitating Dalsim statue, but we thought, what would be even cooler is to have, an M. Bison levitating statue. So that's why we sort of went back and chose to do the boss of Shadilu, and the reason why also this levitating line is quarter scale is because polystone. Our statues are made of polystone, right? So polystone has a lot of weight, and so hence, in order to be able to carry that weight, we need a bigger magnet, and in order to be able to sort of conceal the magnet within the statue, you need a bigger statue. So it's like a chicken and egg kind of thing. So you're trying to make the statue bigger, but at the same time you're increasing the weight. So that's also one of the reasons why it took us some time for us to get to this stage where we can actually show you that it's working. Of course, it's not just levitating; it comes with its own display box with lights, and of course you can see it's purple lights to represent the psycho power that he wields. And there's also this added feature of fans in below the display, so it sort of waves his cape around as well to give it some movement. So yeah, it was a long road since we first revealed the concept, but yeah, we're finally here, and in fact, we can actually I can actually say that we'll be also opening pre-orders for him very soon.
So that was the worldwide exclusive. Now let's talk about a couple of other things which are really cool. you've got a Hugo Poison Alex diorama in the works, right?
Yep.
Can you talk about that? Why did that come about? Why did you choose those characters? Again, it's like characters that nobody makes, you know. Well, there's you know a couple of them are out there, but certainly nobody has done something like this, which makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, again, you know, I personally use Hugo in SF4. So USF4 to be specific. Um, so I thought, I love this character, and why not make a statue of him? But of course, he's not that obviously not as popular as the other characters that we all know of. So we thought, in order, I mean, when you think of Hugo, you obviously think of poison, So in order to sort of improve his chances um, of being, received well, we added poison to the diorama as well. But of course, our we have to make it a connectable diorama, right? So who else to face off other than Alex himself? So the diorama is basically two dioramas which are connectable. So the first diorama is Hugo and Poison, and of course it can be displayed as a standalone statue as well. And then of course you have the connectable uh, Alex. So here we did something different because um, Alex literally connects to Hugo's shoulders. So unlike our other dioramas where the connection is on the base, this is actually literally Alex grabbing onto Hugo's shoulders. So of course, having done that, we have to make sure that Alex is sort of displayable on his own. So we had to create a base where he can be connected to as a standalone statue.
Now, you also do artwork, right? So you started by giving away artwork with statues, which was just a really cool thing.
Once we were doing that, we sort of realized, hey, why not actually create limited edition artworks as well, which of characters maybe we won't have statues of, but people would love to have the artwork, just to collect and all that. So we started doing Street Fighter art prints, limited edition art prints. We started off with our Jury art print, which was done by Art Germ. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yes.
He's a good friend of ours, and actually, now that I mention it, actually we have something special coming up next year. We're doing something with him. I guess you have to stay tuned for that. And we have the Shadowloo Dolls artwork, which was done by a good friend of ours. He's quite talented. And also we have the Chun-li artwork we have done by Sakimi-chan, who's one of the biggest artists in DeviantArt. Then also another Sea Viper print, and we have a couple more coming up, which is a print of Ingrid. I know it's an obscure character, well, we like to do obscure characters, so. And then we have one coming up with all the grapplers. Well, the largest grapplers in Street Fighter, which involves Hugo, Alex, Zangief, and T-Hawk. So in a group together, it's kind of an interesting print done by Brian Lee.
Okay, and then you also have a collaboration, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't say much now, but all I can say is we're in discussion with one of the biggest companies that work with the FGC in terms of bringing something very unique to not just collectors, but the FGC fans and fighting game fans. So I would say definitely look forward to that. It's definitely something new and unique.
See that? I like that. I like that because my mission is to get the collectors playing and the players collecting, and really try to bring the whole world of Street Fighter together, which you already did by giving Daigo a evil Ryu statue. So Daigo is now technically a statue collector.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're definitely on the same page on that.
So just want to say thank you, and
thanks for your time.
I guess we should say goodbye to the fans. So peace out, guys.
All right, see ya.